What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about Justin Fields, where he ranks currently in the NFL at rushing overall, how he set a new tone, taking accountability for not really having the offense stand up to the play of the defense. We're going to get into all that, plus two former Bears, semifinalists to get into the Hall of Fame. We'll break all that down and some more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, Bears fans. So we started off with Justin Fields yesterday, talking about, his potential shoulder injury and what it could mean for him missing time. Seems like he's not going to be missing any time. Seems like the Bears are going to be playing Justin Fields and are planning on playing Justin Fields in the game this upcoming Sunday. Now, I want to throw this question to you guys. Does this make you more concerned about the long-term health of Justin Fields? I won't lie to you. It does. I would have loved to see him sit at least one game. I get it. Justin Fields is a warrior. Justin Fields probably definitely wants to be out there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if Justin Fields is the one pushing to have him in the game and available this upcoming Sunday. But I won't lie to you. Sometimes you have to protect players from themselves. And again, I'm not reporting on this, if that's what's happening here. This is kind of just my own speculation, is that it's Justin pushing for this. But if that is the case, sometimes you have to protect players from themselves, especially when you look at protecting your long-term investment and things like that. But I think everything's, as far as the questions coming into the season, meaning, is Justin Fields truly the quarterback of the future for the Chicago Bears team? I think that's been answered. So, I am of the mindset, if it is any type of tenderness or soreness, or if he's not 100%, just sit him. It's not like we're fighting or playing for anything as far as a playoff position or anything this season. But I completely understand it as well that, as a former athlete myself, I do understand just wanting to be out there, wanting to compete with your guys, wanting to put the best foot forward, things like that. But I won't lie to you, it does worry and concern me a little bit that Justin Fields is going to be out there in what looked like it could have been a bad injury for him, and he missed out on it. Luckily, it wasn't. It was initially reported as a dislocated shoulder. It seems like it wasn't a dislocated shoulder. Then, Matt Eberflus didn't shy away from saying Justin Fields could miss some time or even the rest of the season. Now he's playing. And so at least we do know he is playing. That speculation could stop, but hey, just protect my quarterback. Protect my damn quarterback, offensive line, Chicago Bears, our front office, the coaching. Just protect my quarterback. Please. Can we please protect the quarterback? Outside of that, so Justin Fields has been reported that he apologized to the defense, to the defense and his teammates that the offense did not give the team a chance, saying that the defense gave the offense every chance possible and that the offense just didn't get it done. And while this isn't something huge, it is to say that this is why he's our quarterback of the future. This points towards the change in the culture here at the Chicago Bears. There's still a lot of things this team needs to improve internally. Bringing in some weapons from the outside, all of that, right? We know there are some things and some development that this team absolutely needs to do, but it's just, it brings a different air when you have a quarterback who's he takes accountability, even if you watch his post-game pressers. And that's why I said, he puts more pressure on him than what we could ever do, than what the media could ever do. And that's why we're seeing Justin Fields just turn and develop into this great quarterback that he's hopefully going to be for years and years to come with the Chicago Bears. So I just wanted to point that out, that he pointed it out, that the defense did enough. The offense just couldn't get it done. And while I still think the defense has its place, but there were mistakes made. The interception kind of sealed that game away when they had a chance for a last minute drive, things like that, all being real things out there. It's good to just see Justin Fields take accountability for that. Now, one of the things that I do want to talk about as well is that as of right now, Justin Fields leads the NFL since week 6 with 640 rushing yards. He has 834 rushing yards so far. He's 5th in the NFL, not just among quarterbacks, amongst everyone in the NFL. The only people with more rushing yards than Justin Fields on the season so far are Derrick Henry with over 1,000, Saquon Barkley with 953, Josh Jacobs with 930, and Nick Chubb with 923. Justin Fields is on pace to break Lamar Jackson's single-season rushing record by a quarterback. Lamar Jackson rushed for 1,206 yards. Justin Fields is on pace as of right now for 1,288 yards rushing from a quarterback. That's huge. And so, we'll see if he ends up getting that. More than likely he will, just if you look at how things go, as long as he stays healthy. And, Justin Fields to be able to say that we have a quarterback that, even in a losing season, even in a season that needs a bunch of development, even in the season where our offensive line is trash, all of that, he's still having a potentially record-setting season for Justin Fields in his first year as the full-time starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Just all good things. I just love to see it. But let's get out of Justin Fields. Let's just talk. I want to talk about some players that right now, as we know, we're going into this offseason. We have a lot of cap space. We're going to be drafting. I want to talk about some players that honestly have been disappointing so far on the season. And the first one I'm going to go to is Travis Gibson, right? When Robert Quinn was traded, it was supposedly, I thought, and I had a video on it, that it was going to open up so many more snaps for Travis Gibson and Dominique Robinson. And so far, Travis Gibson just is not performing so far. His pass productivity rating has dropped from 25.6% to 9.5%. That is a huge drop off. That's a major drop off, and he was very much more effective when he was being used in spot snaps and not really as the full time. He's not getting any sacks. So it's and part of this could absolutely be due to just the interior defensive line as well. I would still love to take a look at Travis Gibson when we have and improve that defensive line overall. But because now that Travis Gibson has been getting his shot as a starter, and I said it, this was a time to evaluate him, Dominique Robinson, and see if you're going to save some money, if you have some pieces that you can move forward with being starters on your defensive line. And as of right now, it doesn't look like that's the case. Now, I'm not completely giving up on Travis Gibson. He's still a very young player, still on the team. Like I said, it's other issues on that defense other than just Travis Gibson. But I want to put this one to you guys. Do you think Travis Gibson should remain the starter, or do you think the Bears in this offseason should be looking at possibly improving the edge and moving on from Travis Gibson or Dominique Robinson, or maybe both of them? Let me know what you guys think on both these players below as well. Another player trending in the wrong way, Angelo Blackson, who came in as a starter, who has since been benched. So now Armand Watts is actually starting there. While I do think there's a lot of things that's gonna change here with this Bears team overall, Angelo Blackson is another one that's just trending the wrong way as of right now and hasn't really been giving the Bears much of anything, and it's been hurting the team overall, big time as well. Another player that has also been losing playing time and has been overall disappointing, that is Pettis. And I think that was kind of be expected, right? When you bring in Chase Claypool, things like that. But at the end of the day, his routes have gone down from 40% to 30%. They went back up to 53% last week, but it seems like he's working himself out of the lineup and they are reducing his playing time a lot. Does that mean that Equanimeous St. Brown, Chase Claypool, maybe Velus Jones, N'Keal Harry, like who's going to step up in there? But the fact that his playtime has been going down hugely, he's probably not coming back is what it ends up boiling down to. So, we'll see. He did not receive a single target in the last game. So again, seems like there, Byron Pringle, another wide receiver that I haven't talked about, played 41% of the snaps last week as well. So, we'll see what happens with that. But it does seem like Dante Pettis may be on his way out, as far as just out of favor, not necessarily out of the team, but out of favor, out of getting as many snaps. We'll see what happens with that. But, that's just something that I wanted to monitor. There are some other players as well that have been pretty disappointing on this team. But those are the main ones that I want to focus on. I will say this, there are some young players that I want to see get back into the lineup. Tevin Jenkins, things like that. I know there are a couple players that are dealing with concussions, things like that. The offensive line as a whole is going to be really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who sticks around on this offensive line when it's all said and done. How many of these spots do they improve? How many people are able to keep their role on this team as well? But we do know that offensive line, defensive line are probably going to be two of the main focuses for this team when it comes to either drafting, signing players. I would love to see them more so sign some veteran offensive linemen, in my opinion, and go younger with the defensive line. But everybody has their own thing. I just trust Ryan Poles and his ability to come in, bring in some more talent at positions of need for the Chicago Bears team. But before we go, I do want to talk about two former Bears that are now they're semifinalists so far to get in the Hall of Fame. And the first one is the one that to me should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, and that's Devin Hester. When you look at the way that Devin Hester changed special teams in the NFL as a whole, I think he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I do hope he does get in. This is his second time now being the semifinalist. It sucks that he didn't get in the first time, but I do think Devin Hester should get in. And then another one that we have coming up that's also a semifinalist is Jared Allen. Now, he played with the Chicago Bears more towards the back end of his season, of his career. But at the end of the day, when you look at him, he's 12th in all-time career sacks. He should definitely be getting in, period. He's only behind 1.5 behind other Hall of Famers, Richard Dent and John Randall. So, he's probably definitely going to get in. And, it's just good to have players that you can say that were former Bears that are in the Hall of Fame. It's just kind of one of those things that as a franchise is selfishly, it's fun to do. But, let me know what you guys think on that one down below. But that is it for today's daily episode of Chicago Bears Central. I don't know if you guys have a daily episode tomorrow. You may be. We'll see if any news comes out. If there's anything, it's Thanksgiving, so I may take the day off here and on Bull Central, but we'll see what happens with that. Make sure you're following the show at Chi Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, chicagobearcentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and our voicemail for the mailbag episode, which will air Friday, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And like I like to end everything on, bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.